Hi, this is your host, and today we are going to be discussing Sanofi's $470 million acquisition of Vigil Neuroscience. We will look at the strategic fit, deal terms, due diligence, and how the deal compares to other companies in the space. We will also determine if there is further upside to the stock price. For those of you who do not know me, I am a biotechnology investor and analyst. On this channel, I give my thoughts and opinions on current events happening in the biotechnology industry. If you are interested in this type of content, please subscribe so that you can be notified when new videos come out. Alzheimer's disease, or AD, remains one of the most pressing unmet medical needs globally, affecting over 50 million people. Currently, there are only a handful of disease-modifying drugs approved for the indication. While recent advances in amyloid-targeted therapies like lecanemab and donanemab show promise, significant gaps remain in efficacy, safety, and disease heterogeneity. Emerging scientific insights suggest that microglia, the brain-resident immune cells, play a crucial role in AD pathogenesis. Dysfunctional microglia contribute to disease progression by failing to clear aggregated proteins and support neuronal health. Several genome-wide association studies have linked the triggering receptor expressed on myeloid cells or TREM to locus to an increased risk of developing AD. Notably, individuals with two non-functional copies of the TREM gene experience severe neurodegeneration even in the absence of amyloid pathology, highlighting TREM2's critical role in maintaining brain health. In this context, Sanofi's acquisition of Vigil Neuroscience for up to $470 million represents a strategic bet on the microglial pathway. This deal reflects growing pharmaceutical interest in non-amyloid targets and gives Sanofi a strong foothold in the microglial-targeted neurodegeneration space. Through access to Vigil's lead asset VG3927, a first-in-class oral 𝗕𝗏 agonist. On May 21, 2025, Sanofi announced a definitive agreement to acquire Vigil Neuroscience for a total consideration of up to $470 million. Vigil's lead asset VG3927 is a first-in-class, orally administered small molecule agonist of TREM2. It is designed to activate microglia and enhance their phagocytic function, which is critical for clearing neurotoxic substances in Alzheimer's pathology. The compound promotes 𝗕𝗏 activation, which in turn supports microglial survival, metabolic activity, and neuroprotective responses. This is especially relevant in individuals with TREM loss-of-function variants, which are associated with an increased risk of AD. Currently, VG3927 has completed phase 1 trials demonstrating safety and pharmacodynamic activity. Vigil is preparing to initiate phase 2 trials in Q3 2025. Of note, the company plans to explore the asset in subgroups defined by genetic risk variants such as R47H, which are present in approximately 2 to 3% of the AD population. This precision approach enables the potential for regulatory and commercial differentiation. Beyond VG3927, Vigil possesses proprietary TREM2-related assay platforms and a potential expansion pathway into other neurodegenerative disorders, such as frontotemporal dementia. Overall, the Alzheimer's drug market is projected to reach $13 billion by 2030. Within this, microglial-targeted therapies represent a high-value niche with an estimated potential of $2.5 billion. In contrast to the crowded amyloid space, microglial modulation is comparatively underserved but gaining traction. Sanofi's move positions it ahead of the curve in this emerging domain. At present, there are 3 small companies in the space with VG3927 representing the most advanced asset. The top 2 competitors are Denali Therapeutics and Alector Inc. Both firms have taken different approaches to targeting microglia. Denali is developing DNL919 and DNL593 programs aimed at microglial homeostasis and neuroinflammation respectively. Its unique advantage lies in its blood-brain barrier or BBB penetrating transport vehicle platform. Though not exclusively focused on AD, Its neurodegeneration portfolio is robust. Denali's partnership with Biogen lends credibility to its pipeline, though clinical validation remains pending. The company's valuation is largely tied to its platform potential and broader CNS pipeline rather than any single Alzheimer's asset. Alector's lead candidate 𝗦𝗚𝗚2 is a monoclonal antibody designed to activate TREM2. It is currently in phase 2 clinical trials for Alzheimer's in collaboration with GSK. Alector was the first company to clinically validate TREM2 engagement, but the antibody-based modality limits convenience compared to oral approaches and efficacy signals remain uncertain. Alector's valuation is closely tied to GSK's trial progression and the success of this collaboration. Compared to these players, Vigil stood out by offering the first oral small-molecule TREM2 agonist. This addresses a major convenience gap in the space. Its clean phase 1 data and targeted approach to TREM2 variant patients gave it both differentiation and precision potential. The company also hinted at future applications in frontotemporal dementia. Vigil's modest market cap and lean pipeline made it an attractive acquisition target. Now let's take a look at the stock sensitivity and try to determine if there is further upside. The current deal offers $8 per share upfront, with an additional $2 per share as a CV based on VG3927's first commercial sale. There are 3 possible scenarios that can affect the stock price. If VG3927 succeeds in phase 2, which we will assume has a 50% probability, the CVR will pay out and we will see share prices rise to $9 or higher depending on how quickly phase 3 trials are completed or if the asset is out-licensed. If VG3927 fails in phase 2, which we will assume has a 40% probability, then there will be no CVR payout and the stock value will remain at $8. Finally, if the asset is out-licensed or developed more quickly than anticipated, the upside CVR potential could increase share value to $9.20, $9.50. In this case, we will assume a 10% probability. Now let's run the numbers. Assuming VG3927 achieves commercialization with a 10 to 12% market share of a $2.5 billion niche, and applying a 20% probability of success, the net present value, or NPV, of VG3927 alone could range between $1.30 and $1.5 billion. This aligns well with Sanofi's acquisition price of $470 million for the entire company. So the deal appears to be appropriately priced to capture expected economic upside with a balanced risk profile. So what does this all mean? Overall, Sanofi's acquisition reflects a bold move into microglial targeted AD therapies. It distinguishes Sanofi from competitors by pursuing a non-amyloid approach and leverages a precision medicine strategy targeting a genetically defined patient population. The acquisition also signals growing industry belief in the neuroinflammation hypothesis for Alzheimer's. This deal may spur interest in other niche players like Alector and Denali as future acquisition candidates. Additionally, it underscores a shift in AD strategy from broad-spectrum immunotherapy to mechanism-specific, patient-segmented approaches. In conclusion, Sanofi's $470 million acquisition of Vigil Neuroscience gives it early mover advantage in the emerging TREM2 microglial AD therapy space. With a differentiated, orally available asset targeting a precision patient subgroup, Sanofi has secured a foothold in one of the most promising and underserved areas of neurodegeneration. This move is expected to catalyze further investment and M&A activity across similar platforms while shifting industry focus toward the neuroinflammatory axis in Alzheimer's disease. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and subscribe. Also, feel free to follow me on social media. I will post when new videos come out. As always, I would like to thank my supporters. Your generosity and passion for supporting my work is greatly appreciated and will always be a motivation for me to continue making quality content for you. Thank you all for watching and for your continued support. I look forward to seeing you all again next time.